Good morning everybody and welcome to Mrs Gurney's tutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make blueberry breakfast muffins. A really nice recipe in using blueberries, oats and natural yoghurt as well. So really nice healthy recipe. I say healthy, there is quite a bit of sugar in it, but unfortunately it's one of those. So it's that kind of, nearly healthy breakfast. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I've pre-weighed everything, so make sure obviously that your worktops are clear and that all your equipment is clear before you start. I'm using my scales today, and remember to make sure that they are on grams before you start, and make sure it's on 0 before you start weighing your ingredients. Remember that your bowl also needs to be on 0 before you add anything into it. So always press the 0 button before you start adding in those ingredients, okay? So I've already pre-weighed all of mine out. This recipe involves using the oven today as well. I'll put all the ingredients and how much you need on the information on the YouTube video and also on Teams as well for you. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to be adding 125 grams of self-raising flour into my mixing bowl. Now, as I said, I've already pre-weighed these so that I know what's in there. I'm also going to add in 120 millilitres of sunflower oil. Now, you could use vegetable oil. I wouldn't recommend using olive oil because it's got a bit of a funny twang to it otherwise. So 120 millilitres of sunflower oil. I then want to add in 150 grams of light brown sugar. Now, I'm not going to be using the whole 150 grams of light brown sugar. I'm going to put most of it in, and I'm just going to keep a small handful back because this goes on the top. Now, soft brown sugar sometimes in the packet can get a little bit lumpy, so I'm just going to break that up with my fingers just as I sort of sprinkle it into my bowl. Now, remember what I said, I'm just going to leave a little bit behind just to sprinkle on the top of my muffins, probably about 20 grams, so that's probably about that, at the end. So add those in, and then the next thing I need to do is I'm going to get my eggs ready. So I'm going to put that to one side for one moment. I want 2 eggs on this recipe, so I'm going to use a butter knife, the back of a butter knife, okay, just gently crack it, open it up, so that's 1. And that's 2. Now, quality check for any shell. I think that's fine. Put those in the bin. And I'll grab a fork. So all I'm going to do now, okay, is I'm going to whisk those together. Okay, to make sure that it's nicely combined. Like so. And when it's nicely mixed, like that, I'm going to pour that into my bowl with the other mixture. Now, you could use an electric whisk if you've got one. If you've got a fancy mixer, you could use that. I'm just going to use a spoon for this, okay, and I'm going to give it a really good mix, okay, to make sure that's in there. Now, the oil replaces butter, okay. Sometimes you might find on sponge recipes, cake recipes, that it uses oil rather than butter, okay. It doesn't really matter. It's just the fat has to be in there for that chemical reaction to occur to make that sponge in the oven. So I'm just going to make sure that all my bits of sugar are all broken up, that I've really combined that together with my spoon. Okay, you can see that consistency coming together now. You can also see a few lumps of sugar. Break those down a little bit. So what you should have then is almost like a shiny kind of dough that's coming away from your bowl as you mix it. Now that'll be the oil pulling it away, okay? So that's what you should be looking at. It's quite stiff at this stage. If I hold it up, it drops super slowly, okay? Now at that stage then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my yoghurt. Now I've got here 200 grams of fat-free Greek yoghurt. You could use natural yoghurt. You could use full-fat yoghurt. I'm using the low-fat version now. So I'm going to put that in. Okay, just make sure it's all out of your measured bowl. Okay, I'm then going to pop in my blueberries. I have 125 grams of blueberries in my bowl. Okay, I've also quality checked my blueberries to make sure, because sometimes you find the odd one that's just going to turn the rest a bit manky. So make sure that you just quality check them first, check your dates on things, okay? And then I'm going to give that a good old mix, and then the final thing I've got to add in is my porridge oats. Now I have got 75 grams of porridge oats in my bowl. Now again, I am not going to put all of them in because I want some porridge oats just to go sprinkly on the top of my muffins before they go in the oven. So I'm going to put majority of them in. I'm just going to leave probably again about 20 grams just at the bottom of the bowl. Put that with my sugar because I want that in a minute. And then I'm going to give that a good mix up. Like so. Okay, make sure that's nicely combined, and you'll be able to see then that this sponge mixture is more of a dropping consistency. So when I hold my spoon up with some mixture on it, once I've given it a really, really good combining mix, I should be able, yeah, see it drops. So that's a nice dropping consistency. It's nice and fast to drop off the spoon. It's nice and glossy, okay, as you can see there. You've got the oats in there as well. So that stage then, I'm just going to move some of these things out of the way. I'm going to grab 2 spoons. And I've got a muffin tin here, which I prepared earlier, with paper cases. Let's do that the other way around and you can see what I'm doing. So with my 2 spoons, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice big dollop of the mixture, and I'm just going to push it off with the back of the spoon. Now if you find that tricky, another way of doing this is putting some of your mixture into a jug and pouring it in. Okay, so the back of my spoon. Make sure I get a blueberry or 2 in each one. Nobody wants a blueberry muffin with no blueberries in. So just make sure you've got those blueberries. And you're not filling it right to the very top. You want to leave a little bit of space at the top of the paper case so that your mixture can rise. Oh, okay. And if you do get it on your tray, just be careful, okay, just to knock it back into your paper case. Again, because otherwise it'll burn on the top. Right, there we go. Nearly done now. Now if you find you've got too much mixture for your muffins and not enough tray or not enough paper cases, then I recommend if you've got a second tray, set that up ready to go. Or if you haven't got a second baking tray, what I would say to you is wait for these to come out when they're cooked, replace the paper cases, and then go again, okay, and put the last lot in. Don't throw your mixture away, okay, ingredients are quite expensive, so we need to make sure that we're using all of them, okay. And as I say, this is a nice breakfast or an 11 o'clock type of recipe, you know, something with a cup of tea or a coffee, okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm just checking over them just to make sure I've filled them all. I think there's a couple here that could do with a little bit more of the mixture. Nobody likes a skinny cake. If you think about it, everybody goes for the biggest one on the plate, don't they? So just make sure that you've filled them all equally. Okay, not too full. We don't want them overflowing in the oven. Okay, just take them up just so there's a little bit of the paper case still exposed. Oh, there's an escaping blueberry there. Let's pop that one back. There we go. Okay, right, so with those then, okay, a little bit messy around the tops there. I do apologise. There we go. So what I'm going to do then is go put those in the oven. Now I've preheated my oven. My oven is at either 220 degrees centigrade, 200 degrees centigrade if you're using a fan oven, or gas mark 7. And I'm going to put those in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to be keeping an eye. Now when they come out of the oven, they're going to be hot. So you need to use either some oven gloves or a thick doubled up tea towel, or get an adult to help you with that particular one. Try not to burn yourself. And to check if your muffins are done, what I recommend is getting a metal skewer, or if you haven't got a skewer, just a butter knife or a sharp knife, and just poke it into your muffins. If you bring it out and there's a cake residue on your knife, then it's not cooked. If you pull it out and it's a clear, clean knife, then your muffins are done, okay? So I would start checking your oven probably about 15 minutes, okay? And then up to that 18-minute mark. So I'm going to put these in the oven now, guys, okay? And I'm sure you'll see the results in a little while. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fantastic to have you here today. So good luck. I can't wait to see what you come up with. All right, bye.